Happy February 28th. JLD here, and welcome to Strategy Today. In this show, we talk about Michael Saylor taking over San Francisco. We talk about Michael Saylor meeting with the House Finance Committee. This man is relentless. We talk about MSTR versus the Magnificent Seven over the past year. You might be surprised by this one. We talk about surviving a bear market. And then rule number 13 of Bitcoin, brought to you by Michael Saylor himself. This video is not financial advice, but please do comment below. I want to know where you're watching from, what you're thinking, any questions or comments that you have. That is a great conversation that's happening daily, is in my comment section. So thank you in advance for that. And let's dive on in. All right, today's first post is from Michael Saylor himself in San Francisco to celebrate the grand opening of Presidio Bitcoin. And there he is. I actually love this because I can remember standing exactly here a few years back for a photo myself. I've been to that park. So cool to see Michael Saylor hanging out in San Francisco. And listen, speaking of Michael Saylor, this man is tireless. He is relentless. He is always out there working for you, for me, the MSTR shareholders, for Bitcoin, for strategy. This is what this man has dedicated his life to. And I, for one, thank you, Michael Saylor, for that. Michael Saylor confirms meeting with the House Financial Services Committee to discuss making the U.S. global leader in Bitcoin and crypto. Gentlemen, I really hope you're taking notes because this is a master at work, and I would give a lot to be in this room. So don't take it for granted, gentlemen. All right, posts from Strategy, MSTR versus the Magnificent Seven over the last year. And listen, I know the past few days they've been tough. Let's call a spade a spade. But what if you were in Microsoft for the past year and you were down 4%, or actually any of these other companies that, by the way, did quite well, except for MSTR, up 177%. Wow. Way to rocket, way to lead the way, MSTR, dominating that Magnificent Seven. Let's talk about Bitcoin therapists sharing with us some just resources maybe, or some ideas or some thoughts or strategies about surviving a Bitcoin bear market. So surviving a Bitcoin bear market is a superpower. People are scared, but they haven't been through a real drawdown. What we're experiencing now is one of the most bullish series of events leading, in my opinion, to a form of hyper-Bitcoinization. We are witnessing events today that we dreamed of 4 years ago. I am massively bullish and buying with every dollar I have. This administration is so incredibly pro-Bitcoin. There is really no telling what can happen in the next 12 months. All I know is I'm not selling anything. Now, the Bitcoin therapist, myself, some others that you might know, maybe you, if you're watching right now as well, rode the last wave up to 64,000, 65,000. It crashed back down to 30. I held through that. It went back up to 69,000. I thought I was vindicated because I made it through the what we thought was the bear, and then it really crashed down to 16,000, and then I rode that all the way down, now back up to 109,000. So I'm along for the ride. I know a lot of you have been along for the ride. For some of you, it's your first ride. Just know that this is nothing new. BitStrategy wants us to know that strategy is often described as a leveraged Bitcoin equity. While accurate, it doesn't tell the whole story. It implies that the shareholder value arises solely from the use of debt. It ignores the accretion from our equity raises and the convertible nature of the majority of our debt. It ignores the complex nature of our treasury operations. We're not even that leveraged. The average homeowner is more leveraged than strategy. It's sometimes useful to refer to ourselves as a leveraged equity for ease of communication. The broader market can understand that if it's leveraged, it should swing in value more than spot. Don't be fooled, though. We're much, much more than just a leveraged Bitcoin equity. We're the world's first Bitcoin treasury company. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. True words, BitStrategy. Jeff wants us to know that 30% drawdowns are the name of the game. And this is something that Dylan posted. This is one of the top guys at Metaplanet. Below is the 4 occasions where SOPR resets greater than 1 during the 2017 bull market, 4 separate greater than 30% drawdowns. And if you were in during 2017, give a comment below. I'd love to just give a nod to you because you're a legend. But here's 2017 and went up to, and then it went down 337, which was 30%. And then it went up and then down 30%, then went up, then down 35%, then went up, down 34%, and then way up. Now, if you'd gotten shaken out in any of these, you missed all of that, or all of this, or all of this. Now, there is a time to take profits in most cycles, and hopefully we do that this cycle. And I will be, giving you my thoughts on that going forward, and of course reporting on that. But you know, in my opinion, we're just at one of these drawdowns right now on a march upwards, but only time will tell because nobody knows. Chris does want us to know, though, is that this feels like the perfect opportunity to define the differences between low T and high T. The only way to win at the game of investing is to cultivate high T. So first off, what's low T? Emotional, sells during dips, weak conviction, high time preference, fear, volatility, uncomfortable with uncertainty. What's high T? Rational, buy during dips, strong conviction, low time preference, embrace volatility, comfortable with uncertainty. Now, I want to tell you, this is where I lay. I lay in high T for the most part. I like to think that I'm very rational because I'm only surrounding myself with people who I think are also rational. So that really helps. I am definitely buying during the dips. I've been buying quite a bit during this dip. I have a very strong conviction. I really believe in Strategy and Michael Saylor and Bitcoin strongly. I definitely have a low time preference. I really do. I am looking at this for a long-term investment. Now, embracing volatility, I will say I'll raise my hands. I am a human being. The volatility is still hard to deal with, even though I know it's great for the stock. I know that MSTR needs these retracements down. It needs those bursts up. It needs it. I understand why. I get it. It's still hard. Nobody wants to see their portfolio shrink, large percentages. But I have to get better at this, and I'm getting better at this, and I will raise my hand and say this is an area that I'm working on right now. And then comfortable with uncertainty. This is also another area. Like I'm getting more comfortable with it. So these last two is something that I'm working on. I had the first 4 locked in. I'm struggling with these last 2, but I'm definitely getting better. I'd love to hear in the comment section, where are you at? Are you low T? Are you high T? If you're high T, where are you struggling? If you're low T, where are you mostly finding yourself in this section at? So let's keep on moving. Bitcoin Therapist wants us to know that Saylor is an effing legend. And Saylor just posted this yesterday at 11:11 p.m. So late last night, almost at midnight, he posted, "Sell a kidney if you must, but keep the Bitcoin." You either believe in Michael Saylor, you either believe that this man is seeing something that most of the world is not seeing, that he is seeing an asymmetrical opportunity, or you don't. If you don't keep the Bitcoin because you don't believe in this thesis. But if you do believe in Michael Saylor, in the Bitcoin thesis, in what he's doing, and what Bitcoin is and stands for, keep the Bitcoin. And speaking of the legend, Michael Saylor, take it away. Rule number 13 of Bitcoin.
Rule 13, the cure to economic ill is the orange pill. Bitcoin is perfect money. Once you understand that, you realize everything you used for money in the past is toxic. Your capital is toxic. Your currency is toxic. We've been living in a world where the doctors bleed you to death. We're living in a world where they inject garbage and sludge into your brains. You're living in a world where you're eating stuff which is poisonous, right? The cure is stop putting toxic stuff in your system. The orange pill is that cure. We need to spread that cure to the world.
And there you have it, another episode of Strategy today. And I am buying relentlessly, as is Michael Saylor. And I will buy the top forever as well. I'm buying $210 of MSTR every single day. Here's the receipt from yesterday. I bought 0.818 share of MSTR at $258. And I will be buying more today wherever it opens at. That is me dollar cost averaging every single trading day of 2025. And every Sunday, I give you my full portfolio. Remember, this video is not financial advice, but if you did get value from this and you're still watching, please take a second, just hit that thumbs up button, hit that like button. It means a lot. And if you have another couple seconds, comment where you're watching from, what you're thinking, what you're doing. That's be so valuable. So thank you for that in advance. And you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So thank you for taking some of that time and spending it with me. I hope you're finding these videos valuable and enjoyable. I'm creating them for you every single day to just help us, temper the highs and survive the lows and just enjoy the middle part. Because, that's going to be the rest of the year. It's going to be the highest of highs, the lowest of lows, and a lot of time chopping in the middle. So until then, remember, Michael Saylor is always known for saying, there is no second best.
What's the second best? There is no second best.